Okay, perfect. My sound is working. Okay, so today I just wanted to make a short video. I made a video yesterday too, so we have probably seen that because it have been released before. But today I just wanted to move some more trades into this sheet right here from my big backtesting and just talk through them and place them in the right columns right here. If it is a bad trade, good trade, and then if it is on entry time frame or validation. I don't bother doing context because that's pretty simple, just a bullish market. Um, yeah, nothing really more than that, not too extended. So we just start with entry and validation. Okay, so let's just start kind of around here. I think it is a good starting place. Yeah, let's see this one. This one, it is a pretty clear trade. I would say this is a good entry. And the reason for that being, you could see the clear bullishness prior. This is a major flush, a bigger flush. After that, you see money entering the market again, pushing to the top side. Then you see this flush again, far below the 9 and 21 EMA, accumulating orders and actually just tapping under the 200 as well. And then clear momentum comes in, not too wicky, not too sharp. The MS are kinda getting bought up, and then it makes a beautiful ICI here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, 5.5, which is more than enough for me, and for me taking a trade I think is valid. I could just quickly say that this one is more momentum based, and this one also. I would not taken these two trades today, but this one is valid for sure. So let me just take this and move it into my sheet. Let's see that I have the, okay, I'm just gonna take a new picture without the black lines on the outside. Just like that. Then this was on the entry time frame, so therefore I move it to here. Just like that, make it a bit smaller. That's perfect. I would say that is a star, because that is a pretty textbook entry. You could see the bullish market, major flush, goes into a stage 1, flushes again below, clear push upwards, getting bought up by the MAs, and then sloping to the side. So a pretty valid entry. Then let's look at the validation on that time frame. Here we also have a pretty clear and perfect market. Clean bullishness, as you can see. The market is moving in one direction, and that's upwards. Then it flushes, makes base 1, base 2, base 3, probably has one more move before it needs a bigger flush again, or just explodes. And you can see after this push here, it goes sideways, get caught up by the MAs, and this is a stage 1. So I like to buy in between the gray stage, like if it is a stage 1, if a stage 2 has started. So if the stage 2 actually starts, I'm in the move, and if it flushes out or corrects even more, I only take one loss. So this is a perfect validation time frame also. So let's just take this picture and move it into my Miro. So this is pretty much how my days and research is looking like at the moment. Just trying to really hone in on the on my system and becoming perfect so I can execute it in the live market. Gold actually set up a trade earlier today. This high right here, but if you too high in the impulse for me. So let's just compare this trade and the trade I just showed you on, I think it was Tesla. And maybe I'm wrong. I could actually check that real quick. What market it was? Amazon. Okay, perfect. So compare it with the trade we looked at on Amazon. Here you could see the flush, this leg down here. This is the leg I like to enter on. And then on gold, this is the leg. This is the leg right there. Perfect. Both legs goes below the 1021 EMA. And this one, when it comes above the 1021, it goes sideways. And it's pretty far from the high of the impulse down. You can see the high is kind of here. And it is pretty much a good amount below the high. But if you look at this example, you can see it's nearly at the same level as the high. So therefore I consider this too high in the impulse, in the leg right here, for me to actually take an entry. If I would have taken this entry, I would have taken it probably of this candle right here, if it could have gone sideways for 2 or 3 more candles. So this is how I really take out my edge from the market, and I'm going to turn this back into profit again. So let's look at the next example on my backtesting sheet. Let's just jump one down. Here you could also see a pretty clear trade. A bullish market flushes again, then makes this double MB right here. How does it look on my validation? Yeah, it is kind of at the last point. If it would have done that one more time at an impulse and down, it would just have been chop, a bigger stage one, and I would have waited for an impulse. This is definitely not a star validation, because it is nearly under the 1021 EMA, but since the market has proven bullishness and the MAs were going sideways at the point of the entry, I was willing to take the trade. So let's just move over here, put in that trade, just like that, and then grab the entry time frame picture. Move it into here. Then I'm gonna take a quick note on this. I know I had a note on that trade right there. So I'm gonna move that over to this. And this is for me to, when I look at pictures later, I know what the main reason for it being a win, being a loss, and what I thought about it at that moment. And maybe my psychology or trade knowledge has gotten better, so I think of it in another way, and I can then get an even bigger improvement from actually seeing what I thought before. Not just believing what I thought, but seeing it on the trades. So wait for price to prove itself more. Prove itself more. So what I mean by this is for price to actually make a bigger leg up, then make a new flush, and then a some sideways action right here. Okay, I'm still recording. Perfect. So let's jump back to my sheet and jump to the next one. Here, also a good trade. This is perfection in terms of the the gray zone I was talking about earlier, the transition between stage 1 and stage 2, accumulation, and then going and reaccumulation. So here you could clearly see prices pausing, going sideways. Here it actually makes this push above the stage 1, flushes again, and this is kind of the breaking point of the stage 1 and stage 2. So either it goes now, as you see it did, and either it goes or it just makes a bigger stage 1. So I was willing to take the risk, and you can see it paid off in this example. So that's something to have in consideration. So let's collect this picture, put it into Miro right here. This is still not a star entry, because you can see price was relatively choppy right here, but still valid, absolutely. So let's collect this picture just like this. Boom. Like that. And now let's examine the validation together. Okay, so you could clearly see this being a stage 1 moves into pretty early stage 2 territory. You could see the first pause, and the MAs did not catch up to price, but it is sloping and surfing price, so that's fine. First pause after a big stage 1, so I could see why I took the trade, and it is valid in hindsight. Let's do a few more, jump to the next one. This one is definitely more momentum based than the prior trades, because you could see the entry was actually further down. If I wanted to enter in the gray area, I entered in the stage 2 on this example. And what I mean by that is my actual entry should have been right here through this side, because this is still in the stage 1, but it made this push right here pretty clear. Actually makes this gap right here. Then it flushes again, and this is the high I should have been trading. This is more momentum based, but it worked out. And something interesting I'm going to do is I'm going to count the MBs, or the not kind of the MBs, but like the big impulses on my validation, because usually over 4 is overextension. And you can see here price flushes big time, so that is an indication of overextension. I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to write momentum based MB. Let's look at the validation and see if it's overextended. Okay, so you could say this right here is the major flush. Then it makes this base 1, base 2, base 3, and then actually this is the last base. So it was valid to look for a trade here. You could also say base 1, base 2, 3, 4, and this is overextension. So there is 2 different ways to look at it, but it could definitely have been a bigger runner. That was wrong. Okay, so let's collect this picture. And I'm going to write down the MBs with you guys. Okay. So let's do this. 1. I don't want it being like that. This is the flush. This is kind of base 1. This is base 2 overall. This is base 3. This becomes base 4. I don't know why the color got darker, and only 4 bases. So you could say it's overextended, but you could also say it's not. But this entirely depends on your view of the market. You could view this as the major flush, stage 1, boom boom. This is actually a perfect example of the cycle. Blueprint. So you could say this was overextended after this move, but you could also view this right here as a 1, this right here as a 2, and then this right here as a 3, and then at last this as 4. There is 2 ways to look at it. Both are valid, and this comes entirely dependent on you. So there you got an example of what I actually do and how I study right now. So see you guys in the next one.